Hey, it's the Chubby Bartender Podcast with your host, Jason Gillum and Chad Reynolds. With a special guest each week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Oh, hey, look who we got, boys. Jackson's finest, Jeremiah Shaver and Bo Kearns. What's up, gentlemen?
Hello.
Cheers. Cheers with your Dr. Pepper, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers. All right, so Bo, we got to thank some guys before we get kicked off. Who you want to thank first?
I always enjoy Massey.
Do you?
I enjoy that
Well,
rundown on
hey.
Massey. So
I saw him the other day. He's over at AP Prep. He boxes over there barefoot.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I said, I don't want one of them claw hammers
well, I was
over
gonna say,
tripping me up.
I mean, he has to go get a pedicure or something before every time he goes in
Kayla,
that place.
get a hold of him, Kayla.
I mean, come on.
But so that's, I guess, let's talk about Geiger Brothers Construction. So Scott Massey and the boys over at Geiger Brothers Construction, if you need something engineered, if you need something erected, if you need something put together, anything at all, if you need life advice, call Geiger Brothers Construction, 740-286-0800. Massey and the boys, Eric even, they'll get you
advice.
lined right out. Hickey, you imagine the crew over there, all the suites. With Scott and Hickey.
Yeah. And the pizzas.
And the pizzas.
I can't say anything. I like pizza now, too. So.
I watched a parade with Massey. He brought 4 pizzas. Fact.
Is that right?
Fact. Yeah.
Wow.
And then the next day I saw him at AP Prep over there at our boy Jason Prater's. On
Sweating
Monday.
out pepperonis.
Sweating out pepperoni. I was over there working out at AP Prep, and I told the guys I was working out with that if my sweat was going to smell like cinnamon and apples. Because, boys, I flat tore it up over there.
Did you really?
But hey, look up our boy over there at AP Prep. Man, I tell you, Bo, I enjoy it over there. It's fun to go over there, get out of town for a night, go over to Chillicothe. Hard workout, then you just got all kinds of options. Go get you something to eat.
Sure.
Go for a bike ride, whatever you want to do. But look him up, apprep.info, and look up his new cycle shop at Scioto Valley Cycle. It's right next door. They've got a few bikes for sale right now, but they're servicing a ton of bikes. Just had my bike serviced.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So go check those guys out, Scioto Valley Cycle and AP Prep, and look them up at apprep.info. Who else we got? Let's talk about our boy Munn.
Oh, Bradley.
Oh, I tell you, Munn, he stepped up last week here during the Apple Festival, donated $500 worth of. Did you catch that story?
I saw it on Facebook.
Oh, the $500. Oh, did you?
I saw you doing it on the stage. talking about it. On the Jaffe page.
Yeah, I went live from the Jaffe page. But Brad, it's mainly Sarah. What she likes to do is get up in the morning, crush a bush apple, and then donate to the community. So we can't thank the Munns enough. Brad, Sarah, Jackson, Wellston, Oak Hill, and MacArthur, McDonald's, they do a great job. But like I said, last week they donated just out of the blue. Here's $500. He's a gentleman.
He is top notch.
He's top notch, man. He's just
really
top notch.
is.
Yep. And Sarah is too. I give her a lot of grief. So, a lot of grief. So
Well, she's stuck over there with you in that office or something, isn't she?
They moved.
I heard. Well, I seen
they're down,
actually.
they're down the street. Yeah.
Down
He's rehabbed the building. He's just a community guy.
He had to get her away from you, I'm guessing.
Probably. They wouldn't get no work done.
Yes.
That could be. There's a lot of truth to what you just said, probably.
Listen, I only speak truth.
Yes, that's true. Because I was constantly down there giving them hell. Now, they were in my office a lot, too. Anytime there was an emergency, I'd have to go down.
Emergency.
I'd have to get out and figure it out. But so hey, right down the hall from the Munn's previous office, I'm down there at Gillum Insurance, man. We were talking about it last week. I can't imagine what is happening to life insurance statistics right now. Compared to 2 years ago, used to, we were talking, term life insurance, only 2% of it was going to pay out. You just wonder what COVID's done to that number. That was kind of the rule of thumb all the time I was in it, before COVID. I'd see what that number is now. Because, man, we're losing some young ones, man.
Yes.
I just got a call earlier today that a good friend of mine lost his 35-year-old brother today with it. So I won't mention any names, but yeah, he died of COVID complications.
Wow.
So, and I got a few friends with it right now, and I mean they're doing okay. They are the ones that are doing the best seem to be vaccinated. But anyway, so give us a call, Gillum Insurance, 740-395-0357, or shoot me an email, jason.gillum@american-national.com. Anybody else? We got that, everybody? Tyler, welcome back. And speaking of work, we have the Jeremiah Shaver. Now, Bo, this is kind of going to be, what do I want to say? This is going to be rough for you because you don't have Facebook.
I don't.
But this cat, last week, did you sleep?
I tell you what, I didn't sleep a whole lot.
You couldn't have. You were there at 7 a.m.
I was up there early on Saturday.
I know you
for that
were.
5K. Yeah, I put in. I tell you, the longest day was Saturday. I logged 13 hours on the clock Saturday.
13 hours on the clock Saturday.
But I was probably up 17, 18 hours.
Yeah, so you were 7 to 10 just there.
Yeah,
At every single event.
just about.
If there was a man on a microphone, you were there.
I was there.
Wow.
Man. So, I mean, okay. So here's why. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff I could ask you. But I gotta know. What drives you to do that so much?
It's well, like I was telling him before we came in, earlier this month, I celebrated a decade in the news business.
Yeah, so to let everybody know, you are a journalist.
I'm a journalist, yeah. Hi, I'm Jeremiah Shaver, multimedia journalist for The Courier, which serves Vinton and Jackson counties. Our parent company is Adams Publishing Group. They own... the last check was at like 150 newspapers across 20 states. So it's a big family-owned group, and they deal with a little bit of TV, radio, billboards, that kind of stuff too.
Media stuff.
Media. But circle back. What was the question again?
Why now do you work so hard?
Oh, why do I work so hard? It's a passion.
You're a journalist.
I'm a journalist. There's a lot of passion behind it. I like.
Did you go to school to be a journalist?
Like I was telling him before you got here, I went to Rio. I got an associate's in communication, which is similar to. I took some journalism classes, and that's what
Where'd you go to high school at, Jeremiah?
I went to Wellston.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, class of 08. I'm a Golden Rocket, so nobody hold
Class
that
of
against.
08. Boy, you are young.
Yeah, nobody hold that against me.
What are you? 20, 32, 31?
I'll be 32 next month.
32 next month. Whew,
Yep.
Man, you seem older than that to me.
Maybe it's because I've been around.
Well,
for a long
you've been
time.
doing this a decade.
Yeah, everywhere. Seen it, like I was telling you, I've seen a lot of things, met a lot of people. It's been interesting.
So, like, whenever you're out there, so you were reporting from the Facebook last week, or you were reporting through Facebook last week. This is something that boggles me about the news business. Okay, other than community service, it seems like you would be actually going against the grain of your business because that is free news.
It is.
That's the big struggle right now. People don't want to pay for news.
Right. Yeah. Subscriptions. It's hard to get people to understand on, especially digital subscriptions. I mean, you go get a digital subscription for Netflix or like a magazine or whatever, and that's fine. But people don't want to pay for news, even though it's news that's going on in their community.
Yeah, like it's only like what, $8.99, something like that.
It's cheaper than that, I think, a month.
Is it really?
Yeah, you can get on a monthly.
You can do like the paper, the online, and everything. Can't you? For
it's like I don't know, $5 or something.
Wow.
A month. Yeah.
Yeah, because paper is only 50 cents, 75 cents, something.
That's $1.
Yeah, how many?
$1 at the newsstands.
Do you know what the circulation of papers is?
I don't. You'd have to call Athens.
Yeah, talk to somebody in circulation.
I just deal in the news. I don't know the.
So like going back to the question, like last week. So, and I mean, God love you for doing it. And I was trying to share all the local news outlets.
Right.
I was trying to share them on the Jaffe page.
I saw that. I appreciate that.
And,
I appreciate the shout out during your concert too.
Did I give you one?
You did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. You said local celebrity Jeremiah Shaver's in the house. Let's give him a round of applause. And everybody gave a round of applause.
Well, they all know you.
Yeah.
My Lord, you're getting a following.
Yep. It's. Oh yeah, I'm verified.
Yeah, you're verified.
I am verified.
What do you
now.
got to do to verify?
Yeah,
5,000.
No, it's a lot of work. You apply for it. You apply for that blue check mark each month, and
Really?
And depending on your traffic and your following, you got to keep building it. And they'll say, not at this time. But I think I did like I don't know, it was close to a year or more. I can't remember. remember I started, and then each month I would try and try, and I get an email that says, at this time you're not blue checkmark worthy or whatever. But I finally grew it enough that they're like, okay.
So what exactly does that mean to somebody that doesn't have Facebook?
That's a certified account. That's that is
a trusted source.
Trusted source. Yeah, if it's on there, odds are Jeremiah or his team had something to do with it. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
really
and this
doesn't
is
mean
on,
anything.
and I should note the blue check mark is on my news personality page.
Not your personal page.
No, I have a personal page, and then I have a news personality page, and then our newspaper has a Facebook page too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called just the Courier.
I love what your group is doing with all those, with the APG group. They've contracted me to play.
Right.
At
Yeah,
a
the
few of
different
those.
events.
And man, they do a hell of a job, man.
They do. Yeah, a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Those.
Amanda and Brittany, and there's another one over there. I know I'm missing a name. I've met a bunch of them, but
Yeah, Teresa probably was involved.
something sounds about right. But so I mean, going back to that question, so I mean, are you doing that to boost your stuff? Because I mean, so that Jeremiah Shaver, that's your page.
Yes, that's my page that I set up years ago.
That goes with you no matter what.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's mine. I set it up years ago when we used to be under a different company.
So
because I've worked for two different companies, same chain of papers. I think it was in 2014. It sold. It used to be ACM.
Okay.
It sold to APG.
Okay. So whenever you're doing like that from your personal page, what is the benefit of you being at the Courier or whatever? Is that what it is?
Oh, you mean the page? The goal?
No, so like last week you go live all week long.
Right. My goal was to drive traffic back to that page, and I hope people subscribe and stuff. For example, I had a lady contact me after the festival. She lives in Michigan.
Okay.
She's like, hey, I watched all your coverage. She goes, I wasn't comfortable coming back home this year. She goes, I want to support you. So she bought a few papers, and we're supposed to be mailing those to her.
Okay.
So the main goal is for me when I do a lot of those lives and stuff, I'm hoping to drive traffic back to that. Just job security.
Yeah.
Just try to do the best I can.
Well, you do a great job, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but what I'm seeing from you guys is just all of you is just an incredible amount of work. I mean, you guys are literally 24/7. My mom, she was a journalist for a while back at the Journal Herald. Back years ago, and she didn't necessarily. I mean, she worked a lot, but I think she was more like she would go take pictures and then write it up or whatever. But it wasn't so much. She wasn't covering wrecks and accidents. You're kind of doing everything. They used to have a guy that just did that. I think his name was Larry Paletti. You probably heard that name.
I probably. Yeah.
You remember that guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I mean they would go to the wrecks, but now you're doing everything from baby contests to State Route, 30 or 93 shut down due to water main break.
I'm basically a one-man show anymore. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about the evolution of the newspaper since
let's talk about
for
it.
the last 10 years anyway.
Okay.
I mean, when I started out, I started with the Jackson County Times-Journal.
Okay.
That was your long-standing paper.
Yes.
Before it was the Herald. Before that, it was something else.
Was it still at the jail then?
No, it was over. Well, when I started, it was out on AC Avenue.
Yep. Okay.
And then it moved from there down to Huron Street, besides CVS, Save a Lot.
See, when I was a kid, it was down there where
the jail is.
Not just where the jail's at,
community
but
court.
Community.
That's where hell I grew up in that building.
Yeah.
That's where Mom. She was.
I can remember going in there and then
Sandy
printing
Leonard.
off the papers and stuff.
My first job
There used
was
to be a press in there.
Yeah.
Whenever I was, I think I was 11. My first job was a paper boy. I got 8 cents a paper, but you had to roll them up. I had 285 papers, and so like I would contract guys, my buddies, to come help me because, dude, that's a lot. You ever carry? Hey, you ever be a fat ass and
It's
be go
200 papers.
riding a Huffy down the street, all weighted down to one side? It ain't like that was an even pull, Bo.
Huffy. Yeah, with your little ringing bell on the handlebar.
Then trying to wing it and out tip over.
Yeah. I can see you trying to club people with one of those.
No, I was the winging it. I had a hell of a left arm. I get on that sidewalk. Well, I can skip a paper down a couple steps. So you started off there. Sorry.
So I started off there in 2011. It was September 2011. Editor at the time was Jennifer Hughes.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember her.
I remember that name. Yep.
Yeah, she was the editor, and
Editor.
I was fresh out of college, and I used to do some stuff on YouTube,
Okay.
just like little funny news reports just for fun.
Uh-huh.
And she had saw those, and at the time the company was kind of starting to do a little more of the video type
Yeah.
stuff, and she's like, "We need to bring this kid in," you know.
You're 20, 21.
I was 21. Yeah, social media was just like
Starting.
Facebook and stuff was really starting to take off.
You're probably
and-
4 years into Facebook, right, at that
Not,
time?
yeah, not too far. I remember before that, you know, MySpace. Yeah, and then Facebook came along. But
So you were just doing little YouTube vlogs?
yeah, when I was in
They still-
college, just as fun. I actually started out in education.
Okay.
I was going to be a teacher,
Okay.
but after I had a few classes, I changed my mind.
Did you?
Wasn't for me.
So, like, what were you doing that with back then, as far as equipment?
I was just a camera like the one you guys are using over there. I would shoot on it and pull it off with a SIM card on a computer and then just upload it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just raw.
How
raw
was
tape.
it? Do you go back and look? Has the quality decreased?
From back then,
Yeah.
yeah. If you look at some of the stuff, like it's funny, like especially like the first one, like I'm holding, it's like a fake microphone, just kind of like standing out. The first video I ever did on YouTube is just like me standing with this fake microphone, and I'm out at Lake Elma, and I was reporting on the lake being froze over that year. This was like 09 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but she had seen a lot of these videos, and she's like,
You were doing those just for fun?
I was just doing those for fun, yeah.
Okay.
And I'd applied to a bunch of local papers. I'd applied to there, and I applied to some of the sister papers because our company owns the Athens Messenger
Yeah,
and the Athens News and Circleville Herald and
Yeah.
all those different ones. And she had saw that video. She's like, we need to bring this kid in and interview him. Well, I had applied first,
Yeah.
but she recognized me and everything. So, but anyhow, I worked at that paper for, I don't know, it closed in 2018. So that's 7 years. Mm-hmm. It was July of 2018. It was during the summer. I remember we were in the middle of working in the paper when they came in and said, we're done. We're through.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was let go.
Oh,
And
gee whiz.
we had to like wait around to see if we were going to be offered another position. And because, I had been around for a while and I was younger and good at what I do, and they offered me a position, 2 part-time positions within the company. So after the Times-Journal closed in 2018, I worked part-time in Logan. I was driving an hour to Logan, working at the Logan Daily News, and then I worked part-time for the Courier. So I was in Logan Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I was working the Courier. I was down here only Tuesday, Thursday, trying to cover the whole county, 16 hours.
So what if something like major happened, murder or
That
something?
didn't get covered. I mean, and
Because you had to be in Logan.
because I was in Logan. And I mean, that editor up there, she was like, this basically takes priority and everything. But after a few months there, I was able to talk the editor of this paper down here. I said, listen, you need me to come back home. I said, if you want this rebranding of this paper, because the Courier used to be the Vinton County Courier. And it
Okay.
was based in MacArthur, just covered Vinton County.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after the Times-Journal closed, they rebranded it and expanded into this county, and they cover both counties. And I told him, I said, if you want this to be successful, I said, you need me to come back home and let me do what I do. And then finally, after a few months, they're like, hey, he called me, and I was actually in Logan. He's like, are you busy? And I was like, yeah. I was like, the other editor's standing right there. He's like, well, tell her you need to step outside and take this call. I stepped out and talked to him, and he's like, we're going to offer you a full-time position with this paper so you can come back home where you belong. And then, the rest is, last 4 years, it's history,
Yeah.
so.
You just continued.
I hit the ground running. I remember I came back. It was September 2018. I came back that Monday before the Apple Festival started,
Uh-huh.
and it was just me. I didn't have anybody to count on, and I just hit the ground running. And I haven't stopped.
So you go in, whenever you say you hit the ground running and it was just you, and I mean, will you literally go in and you're taking the pictures, you're going live, you're getting the facts, and then writing the story.
Right. And
Are you doing all that?
I'm doing all that.
Are you editing?
I'm not editing. No, I have an editor.
You have an editor.
Yeah, and then I've actually worked underneath. I actually counted today because I figured you'd ask that question about that editor. I have worked in the last 10 years. I've had 8 editors.
Wow.
Yeah, between the 3 papers.
3 papers, 8 editors, 3
8
papers.
editors. Yeah.
Is it that big of a turnover, or is it just where you've went through the different papers and different positions?
Some of it's turnover, especially with this one. Like they hire some of the younger folks, when they come out of college and they get some experience and they kind of move up, in the company, or they'll leave or whatever. But the guy that we got now, his name's Will Meyer. He's 22, went to OU journalism program. He's getting his feet wet. He's only been on for a few months now.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of helping him along and kind of guiding him and giving him some tips and stuff.
Because you're not trying to be that guy.
No, I don't want to be that guy.
No.
They've offered. I mean, I've never wanted to be the editor.
Yeah.
Because then you have a lot more responsibility, and then I wouldn't be able to do what I do now. And that's what I'm good at.
I'd have commas so messed up. I'd have so many periods and commas. I'd just randomly throw one in there just to...
I'd have a 30-word sentence in there.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Listen.
You'd pass out and read the sentence, Bob.
Oh, yeah. You couldn't read it out loud. No, you'd run out of air. Yeah.
The brick house was on fire Tuesday afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can spell.
Yeah.
But I have no idea where to put the punctuation at.
Me neither. No. Yeah, what do you think about how it's all going? Like, how do you think, tell me about, so 2011, I'm sure, so there was probably a really high demand for, news. Oh, gosh, I told you not to do it.
Told me not to do it, and you did it. I actually did it a minute ago, and then I realized I did it. So.
News, they probably want articles, news for boom, paper, art, because that's where that's your only income, right?
No, nowadays, especially even then, a lot of the revenue comes from advertising.
Well, but I know, but you're advertising in that paper, so you wanted the news in the paper,
right? Yeah.
Where now, you'll give them little snippets,
right?
But you're not going to give them probably the whole thing online, are you?
No. There's sometimes I'll put stuff because we have a paywall on our website, BentonJacksonCourier.com.
A paywall.
Say you click on a story, it'll pop up a thing. You need to be a subscriber to read this. And that's how...
What if you paid by the story?
You can. There's that too. I can't remember what it costs, but it's cheaper. It's cheaper just to be a subscriber.
But you know how tight people are.
Yeah.
They don't want to sign up for a monthly.
Well, it's like a day.
Me. I'd be like, I want to read this story. And then tomorrow I'd be like, I want to read that story. Then the next day I'd be like, why didn't I just subscribe? I've already spent $27 on 2 stories.
Exactly.
Probably more like 47 cents.
Well,
it's like a day pass. I think is what it is.
Yeah.
You have access all day. But
I like how they're doing. I've had a hard time following obituaries, and now I've just been going. I've realized that you can get links strictly from the funeral home,
right?
So it's okay, well, that was one really good thing about the paper was always the obituaries, and now it's even went to notify you digitally type situation. So, do you think that the circulation papers have went down over the last 10 years?
Probably. Because here, when the other paper, when I worked at the old paper, the Times Journal, I think our circulation size was much bigger than what this one was.
Yeah.
And I think when that one closed, a lot of people panicked, It was like, well, where am I going to get my news? So then they turned to the other paper. So then we lost a lot of subscribers. But whenever I came back full time, a lot of people started calling back in and said, hey, I want a subscription because I'm going to be able to read my Jackson County news because I know Jeremiah's going to take care of it.
Yeah.
But
now, so is there any way of going whenever he goes live? Is there any way to run a ticker tape around the bottom with sponsors?
There is. I've had sponsors.
Well, so do you do it live?
Yeah, on live. Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, just different software. Depends on what you use. There was a program that I used. I think it was not last year, but the year before last, when Justin Skaggs was running. He took out an ad. So there was a little intro video that said, these news videos are brought to you by Skaggs for Judge, and it'd have a little little banner in the bottom corner.
Did you do it through an app?
Yeah.
So it was tied to your camera, and then you would just go
on my
live?
phone. Yeah, just on I use my phone is what I use.
So what do you do? Just flip that thing on airplane mode, and then?
No, it uses internet, cell phone.
Or I'm sorry, sleep mode.
Yeah, do not disturb.
Yeah.
You got to turn that on because if
I was going to say, don't tell me
you
that.
get,
I'll
get interrupted.
I'll catch you going live and I'll start calling you.
Yeah, no. There's like there's times. There's times I realize that I've not turned it on, and like I'll have to like pull down the tab and turn it on. Yeah, that way I don't get interrupted during lives.
Man,
but I talking about lives. So I got a video I did back in the summer out here on 35. I don't know if you remember the semis, 3 semis that crashed out there, and there was a fatal.
How by the rest area out there?
It wasn't to the rest area. No, it was out past. It was right before Caves Road, before you got to the 4-H.
Yeah, right.
Past Lord Bridge Road.
Yep.
And Caves Road. So I went out.
Yeah.
I didn't go out there first thing, and I knew about it. I made a post, said, "Hey, highway shut down and everything," and a few hours went by, and then I got a call from the EMA director, and they're like, "Hey, they want you to come out. You know, WSAZ's coming up, and they're going to do like a little press thing." And I said, "Okay," and I figured by then traffic was probably turned around or whatever, so I was able to get out there okay. And I went out and got my pictures and stuff. I mean, everybody was cleared out of the scene. I mean, I always get people that's upset when I go live at crash scenes because they're like, "You're showing the vehicle, the family's
we're
not been
talk
notified."
about that too.
They'll talk. They get me on that all the time. So I went out there.
Shouldn't be such an asshole, Jeremy.
I know. I'm telling you, I get that in the comments. I get it. Just part of the job. I deal with a lot of harassment in the comments. But that video out there, he had me go live because at the time they were looking for a black Jeep. They thought a black Jeep caused a chain reaction. You know, it didn't properly signal or whatever.
On the screen.
It turned out that Jeep wasn't even involved or whatever. Yeah. It was the semi behind was falling too close, hit the other semi, and then boom, 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 and somebody died. But that video is 20. I think last time I looked, it was like 20 or 30,000 views from hitting 1 million views.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what will that mean to you?
It brought a lot more traffic to my page.
Yeah.
After that, like people were watching all around the world.
Yeah.
Like I looked at the traffic, it was like people in, Russia, for example.
And you've never spent a dime on it.
No, never spent a dime on it. It just took off. I mean, some of the crash videos, you'll do those and you'll get, a few thousand, 5,000 to 10,000 is good.
Yeah.
And I didn't even look at it. I just did it and left it, and because I went to write the story about the Jeep. Yeah. I wrote it and stuff, and I kept getting all these notifications, and people were like, "What state is this in?" Because I never say what state I'm in because I assume
people know they're your
people know we're here in Jackson, Yeah. And that's when I realized people were starting to see it in other states, and I got looking. It was like Georgia and Texas and all these places, but that was wild.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, it was like it went viral.
Yeah.
My company called me and was like, "Hey, we want you to do a little write-up about your video. We're going to put it in the newsletter." They put it in the newsletter. They went out to all the other publications. Yeah.
Well, he gets something at 1 million, doesn't he?
I don't know.
So.
I've never had a video do that before.
We haven't either. No, we've had our we do most of ours on YouTube. Gibson and Kirk's was probably our highest. It's 2,000 or 3,000 on Facebook. I mean, we're like you. We don't spend any money. If we get 5, we had the Bush Latte one had 12.
Yeah,
so 20. I think it got 20,000, maybe 12, 15, something like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. But if you're recording, I'd say that memo was just about if you're recording, anything can happen. I mean, it's all about, I guess, content, but. I mean, you can't just be a content chaser, I guess, can you? I mean, is that what you try to do, or you're looking for quality? You don't do dumb stuff.
No, I try not to do a whole lot of dumb stuff
anymore. Have you seen this kid? This Ohio tri-state weather. Have you seen this kid?
I don't think.
Have you seen that guy? He's got look him up. He's got like a million followers.
Is that right?
And he's just some kid like you guys that loves weather. And started up this Facebook page, and he's turned in. I would almost bet you money more people tune into him than WSAZ. I would almost bet. And I mean, you could do that with that Jeremiah Shaver page. But this kid's now, I mean, he's sharing school menus. He's, he's about half into politics, and then he's also, it's like, hey, I thought we was chasing weather. I mean, I don't know. How do you get your news? Because you're not on Facebook.
I'm not on Facebook, and that's one thing. Like you talked about obituaries, and it's sad sometimes when
You miss one.
You miss one, yeah. So I went through the other day. Mom called and said so and so had passed away, and I went through and started looking at obituaries, and I've missed several, just because I didn't know, or and I don't pick up a paper anymore or anything like that. But
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should.
Well, I mean, because there's some news that
Yeah.
I want to know.
You're right.
I mean, I think there's a fine line between I don't give a shit and need to know.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's been many times I've clicked on a link, to look up a local news, and it's brought me up to that you got to pay page, So, and I really should do it that way, to be honest with you.
There's some people that would argue right now that paper is a hot commodity. I don't disagree with that because I get the paper, and honestly, I kind of enjoy it. I get I see a lot of the obituaries that way, I used to subscribe and I didn't subscribe, and then my mom gave me a free subscription for Christmas in my stocking or something, and that's why I'm getting it now. But it's like I kind of like that service, really.
Yeah. So I mean, years ago, like when I was real busy at work, I'd take my lunch break and I'd have a Columbus Dispatch, and I got those merely to do the crossword puzzles in them. Mm-hmm. But when I got done with the puzzles, I would read the news.
Mm-hmm. Do you like the Dispatch?
I do, but it got to where I didn't want to pay for that anymore.
Yeah, got a little expensive,
how much
and
is
it
that?
shrunk down.
Yeah.
How much is the Dispatch now?
I don't know what it is.
I don't even
now.
know what they are now.
I think papers are $1. I think
The Dispatch
if you buy
is more
them.
than that.
If you buy, if you go to
I think
gas
theirs
station-
is more than $1.
Yeah.
What's yours? $1.50.
Ours is $1.
Buck.
Yeah. Ours is $1.
You're going. I mean,
We just come out once a week though. We just come out on Wednesdays.
You just have one paper a week.
One paper a week, Wednesdays.
That's not a bad gig either.
Well, and it makes it hard though sometimes. But thankfully, in this day and age, we have the internet and the website.
Is the Dispatch and Wall Street Journal still every day?
I don't know.
The
Is it?
Dispatch is.
Every day.
Every day.
7 days a week.
I think so.
It'd be hard.
You imagine?
I mean, it was hard when I worked at the Times Journal. I mean, we were 3 days a week. We came out
It used to
Tuesday,
be.
Thursday, Sunday, I think. And
It used to be every other day. Well, it used
Yeah.
to be.
yeah,
But that was your Facebook back then, too.
That's right.
You know how birthdays was in there? Retirement.
Oh, yeah. I tell you something people still love that's in the paper: divorces and disillusions, and marriages.
And marriage
Yeah.
license.
Like you get on the website, and
Who's
look at like the
cheating who?
top. You look at the top 5 things
yeah.
being read. Every month after I do those, they're in the top 5.
Yeah.
People been looking at them court cases for 40 years and still can't figure out the how to buy a piece of land. Whatever
Yeah.
they're going on.
Yeah.
It's like it's gibberish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm guilty of that. When I used to get the paper,
Yeah.
that was one thing I looked at. Went through the dissolutions and divorces and who bought like
Land.
land
Yeah,
transfers.
land transfers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do those anymore.
classifieds used to be like 2 or 3 sections, and
Yes.
now it's like
Like a
paragraph.
page and a half or something.
yeah. It's always. But there is a group of people. I mean, I'd say we all know them. I mean, I know a handful of people that are just not technical. Shout out Kenny Taylor. I mean, that cat. I don't think he's ever sent a text in his life.
I don't know Kenny, so
You know Kenny Taylor.
Oh, I mean, I know him, but I don't
horse
text
guy.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, nobody does. Yeah, I'm not real sure that he's mobile at all. I don't know that to be a fact. But like, I don't know how you could do it. How in the world would you even get by now without depending on the newspaper?
right.
The newspaper's nice. It's cream. It's icing on the cake. But boy, if you're waiting on that, it's usually over.
Right. Yeah, it's all past. I mean, like this edition that came out. Today's Thursday, so we had an edition yesterday. It's all Apple Festival.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's in it now.
So I'm just kind of curious too to go back to like what you do. So let's say you're up to Apple Festival last week or whatever all day long, and then how do you there's a rack down 93 or 35 that you need to do you try to cover those all?
I mean,
how do you get that called? Is it?
I just sometimes I'll get tips from readers.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the
I didn't
a lot
know.
of times
I didn't know if you had like a scanner.
Well, I
or-
have. I do. I have a scanner that I have.
I sent him a tip today.
Yeah, he did. I got a tip about that.
War X.
Yeah,
What the flag?
I figured from you it was like don't eat yellow snow.
That's what I'm gonna start sending you a tip of the day. It'll be up to you to read it.
Yeah.
Every day you're going to get a tip.
I get a tip. I do. I mean, on some of those crashes, I do. I have a lot of people. I mean, I'm closing in on. I don't know what last time I looked. Since festival coverage, but
7,000.
Yeah, about 7,000, and then you also have followers. And I'm not too far off from 10,000 followers too.
Yeah. You're probably one of the biggest around.
We're getting there.
In this area.
Yeah.
But, the big question is, what does that mean? Does that mean anything? I mean, I think it gives you a hell of a lot of street credit. I mean, around here, you're like, well, hey, that's the news guy right there.
That's the news guy. I do get that a lot.
Yeah. But, I mean, have you found a way to make that profitable,
Me, myself, monetize it?
Yeah.
I've looked, but I don't know.
But I guess I kind of, maybe I shouldn't do this, but I mean, maybe you don't care.
I mean, I've looked at it, but I don't know if I get like, you know what I mean? Like get in trouble with the company or not. Would that be like double dipping? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, because it's my page set up under my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, the brand, you have that brand. So I don't know.
I would imagine a lot of places now would make you sign a non-compete.
Probably.
I don't know why they would.
I don't know if I've ever signed a non-compete though. And see, that's funny about that too on the non-compete though, because I saw a few months ago my former editor from Logan quit, started up her own news site, and now she's publishing her own newspaper. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they.
Yeah, I mean through my work, I mean I'm not allowed to do anything that competes with the company.
Yeah, you're in communications.
Yeah, but I'm like, why in the hell would I want to?
Yeah.
I don't even want to be here during the day. I damn sure don't want to do this at night.
Yeah, but you're not. But yeah. They mean like side work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. That's it's crazy how
I've had a lot of people ask over the years, why don't you just start your own news thing? And I'm just like, that's just a lot of work. I'm one person. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean,
I do well to do what I do.
There's a lot of cost probably goes into print. I mean, I don't see how they sell a paper for $1. Hell, but go buy ink for your computer.
Right.
I used to work in a press factory. I worked over there at McBee's, and I mean, I'd say one of those papers would take a gallon of ink. Maybe. I don't know. They used to put big old jars in. I mean, big old things in. And they would put it on each, and they'd spit out that roll. And, I mean, but I would love to know what the actual paper circulation is, compared to what it used to be. Because there's your number. That's what I like about YouTube. YouTube gives you a for real number. Mm-hmm. It might not be high, but that's a for real number. Like Facebook, don't you get credit for like just scrolling past it at a certain speed?
Yeah,
it's under 3 seconds now. I think it's like 2.32 seconds. Like as soon as if it starts to autoplay, you get the credit for that view. I think
so. Yeah.
So, but you also have to have how many? Is it a million? I think it's 1 million views in order to get any money.
I don't know. I had a thing pop up the other day saying that I'm eligible to do something called a fan subscription, but I don't know a whole lot about that or how that works or anything. I was reading a blog about it, and the one guy said that if you do the fan subscription, then you like your page, because all my stuff's like organic. I don't pay for anything.
Yeah,
it's all shared out by those in the community. But they said that if you do that fan subscription thing, then they notice that all that organic reach kind of like decreases, and then people quit seeing your stuff. And I'm like, well, I want people to be able to know what's going on when something's going on, and I don't want to have to pay for that.
Don't think for 1 minute that they don't bury you.
Yeah,
you said that before.
Well, if we share, we've and Mike Davis tipped us off to this. I mean, he realized this in his game, but if you share, so these guys are all competing for your screen time, and if you have a link on Facebook that directs them somewhere other than Facebook, well, they don't want people to see that, but like what you do is genius because you're doing your thing on Facebook. And you're just plugging where they can get the rest of the store, all the time. And you're basically like your own little marketing firm for the paper.
Right.
And that will go organically a lot better than us, because if we share a YouTube link and it directs them away from Facebook, I mean, we can just tell, where if we put a Facebook clip up there, it gets 10 times more views, and it's just because that's where it's at on Facebook, It's
So why'd you go with YouTube over Facebook?
to get an idea on what it really is.
On what it really is.
And I think audio and visually, it's a little bit more user friendly.
Yeah, Facebook compresses everything to 720p too, so it makes everything look sometimes worse off.
Yeah, a little choppy. I've noticed that on some of my lives, especially if like the service is a little sucky.
And to share an hour video on Facebook, how much would they let you?
Don't watch it.
Yeah, nobody's gonna watch. I don't think.
Hey, people are watching my parade video from the grand finale up here. It had over 5,000 views.
Oh, hey, I get it.
People love it.
I'll
They
kiss
love
your
them
feet right
parades.
here on the podcast.
No, that's okay. You want to do
He's
that?
like royalty.
Oh yeah, I'm learning this.
It's these algorithms and things are freaky. Now yours is kind of like one of those things though that naturally is it's going to get out. Ours is kind of a niche.
Targeted audience.
Yeah, we got certain age groups. It's typically dudes. That listen to the show. Not all of them, but I mean, I'd say we're 60%, 70%
Well, we
dudes.
probably don't have Mary Jane that's 75 looking to watch an episode of the Chubby Bartender.
No, but they want to watch the Apple Festival. And that's where Jeremiah's got them just eating out of the palm of his hand, boys.
It was a good week.
So listen,
Good week. I'm still recovering. I where I had so much time put in, I had to take 2 days off.
you look like hell Saturday.
I tell you, I was tired.
He looks beat up.
I was. It was a long
People
week.
were commenting, Jeremiah gets some sleep.
They were. Yeah, it was a
Did
long
you
week.
see? Oh, he looked like he was walking dead. I felt so bad. That's what I shared. I said, "You're a machine."
Yeah,
Machine shaver.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, machine shaver. Yeah, it was a long week this year. I just Saturday's always rough because you gotta get up so early,
Yeah,
and then they
5K.
stack everything back to back. I mean, they had that 5K and then the baby contest, and then they had
Band show.
Well, yeah, I went out to the band show, and then they had the little mists up here, and it was just back to back. I mean, I didn't get a break until like 4:00 in the afternoon or something.
What did you think of the festival?
I thought it was good. I think rain. I think rain.
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah.
the rain hurt it a little bit those couple days there, but I mean by Saturday I thought there was a pretty good crowd up there. I thought I know when I walked through, I mean people were shoulder to shoulder in some places.
Saturday was a normal crowd. I mean,
Yeah.
that was I
Felt like the Apple Festival.
It felt
for
like
Saturday
that festival
night.
Saturday night. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now the rest of the week, weather hurt you. It always does go gangbusters Tuesday and Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday always was kind of slower days, especially Friday night.
I tell you what, Thursday evening was really slow
Mm-hmm.
up here when I came up.
Phil Vassar
Brought the crowd
He
in.
was good.
Big crowd.
He was.
I
super
enjoyed
good.
that.
I'm not. I don't know what I'd call that. Maybe dad country. I don't know what Just another day in paradise.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not really my thing. But he's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a sad night for me. I lost a battery to my camera.
Oh, yeah,
up
I saw
there
you share that.
covering that was like a $40 battery.
Yeah.
People said they saw it and then they went back to get it for me.
Yeah.
And they'd already swept the streets.
That's what's like.
How do they sweep the streets? You're part of Jaffe. Are they up there like
As a street sweeper.
with the street sweeper? I asked him that if they did that, and they said no, they're up there by hand doing it. But I didn't.
Well,
think that was
so at the end of it,
They take leaf blowers
yeah.
and blow all the trash down, and then
when
and
it
the
comes
street
through.
sweepers.
So
come
it probably got destroyed.
Yeah.
It's probably gone
The trash is a major issue
up there.
up there.
There was a lot. I know after that Wednesday night parade, I was walking back down through, and people had trash in the business windowsills. and-
Sunday morning,
all over
we
the
were up
place.
there tearing it down, and I mean the trash. It was. I don't know why. I mean, maybe we need to get more barrels. I don't know.
it don't matter if you have a barrel for
It
every
don't.
person. People
yeah, I mean
will
there
throw
was
stuff
barrels
down
sitting
anyway.
down there. And
Oh, I know.
people
We
just,
set them all
just
out.
left it lay.
Every one of them barrels we set up and picked up, and I mean, there was probably no joke. There was probably 50. But you might need more. And I mean, that's not. Things are bigger. Cups are bigger. Things are bigger.
Well, somebody asked me. They said they didn't see as many of those, like the square Kroger cardboard.
The
trash-
Kroger's
trash
it's a
cans.
fact on this. So
This year.
we were going to get those for Jeeping for Joy, and we typically always get enough for the Apple Festival and Jeeping for Joy. And there's a guy in Jaffe that handles that. And the week of Jeeping for Joy, they told us that we weren't getting them this year, so that they couldn't get them because those are waxed. So they have a wax. They'll withhold in the rain.
Okay.
You about have to have a wax cardboard thing to do that with.
Somebody told me it was like the city put those out, but I didn't
That's
know.
us.
That was you guys.
That's us.
Okay. Somebody asked me, they're like, there's usually always one on this corner, and it wasn't there. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so we was talking about you doing all this Facebook Live, which you're the king of it. He's the Elvis of Jackson County Facebook Live.
I'm gonna have to get Facebook back. I think
You're gonna have to, you have to get on.
I've been wanting to delete it again. I don't know.
back and
I'm
forth.
missing so much stuff. I mean,
I know
I'm sitting with celebrity here, and
he is.
yeah, and I don't even know half the content.
I get it. I know. I
Yeah.
mean,
Even my mom was telling me stuff that he was putting on there because mom's like the queen of Facebook or something now.
hey,
so.
this guy. I mean, there's not too many people get to sit down and talk to the man.
Yeah.
He talks to cameras only.
It took a long time to get comfortable in front of the camera when I first started
Yeah,
doing
because
it.
you're not a real,
No.
I mean, you're not like Chad or, you're not like real out loud, me.
I mean, what he just said when he was 22, he was covering submarine races up at Lake Elmer or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
No,
They were freezing.
I was covering the lake being frozen. We actually walked across the lake.
Did you?
You can still look this video up. It's on YouTube.
Is it?
Yeah. I left out the part, the microphone. It had some glitter on it. Okay, sparkling in the sun out there. You have to get on and check it out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fake microphone.
fake microphone. Yeah.
So you'll go live. Okay. Let me ask you this: how do you handle the comments?
The comments. I just years of practice.
Well,
knows,
I don't mean that. Okay.
I mean, you mean like the nasty stuff?
What if somebody starts getting on you?
I just kind of ignore it.
Yeah.
Just
Just let it go.
I mean, here lately, because of where I've had a lot of traffic from like other
Oh, yeah.
places,
Oh,
because of that one video.
They weren't lighting you up. They were lighting up the fact that it was going on.
Right. Yeah. They're like, it should have been canceled and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been some people I noticed. I've been getting some spam. Like people spamming the people, like local people on there. Like some of the comments, like some guy was like hitting on some girl. And then like right below hitting on another girl. It was like the exact same post. Like, and I had to go in and like block these people because they're like, attack it, on social media. It's crazy.
That's just another comment. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows who anybody is anymore? I'm convinced. You don't know who these people are. These people living these fake ass lives on Facebook. You don't know any of these people. Yeah. So how do you keep from that? Like, so do you ever like catch yourself in the middle of the night, like looking at your comments like that son of a bitch?
I mean, it depends on what it is. There's some nights, I lay there and I'll scroll through just
you
to
ever
see.
comment on them or like you ever DM them and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
No, I mean, there's
Come on, I'll put a camera up.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
How about I bring my camera over and I'll video me whipping your ass? You don't ever do that.
We'll go Facebook Live.
I mean, there's a few times where like I'll comment back if it's something not too bad, but I mean usually I just kind of ignore it unless they like really get real repetitive, And then, I mean, I give you so many attempts and then you get blocked. I probably got a list of blocked people. It's mile long. I just
Really?
probably just
Well, I don't even understand what you could even say to a guy like you that would be bad.
just
other
different stuff. It just
Stay
depends
safe,
on what
Jeremiah.
it is.
That's about as far as it's going to go. Good job. Stay safe. That's all. That's it.
I know.
Are you doing it to get the comments? Do you ever say like comment? Tell us what you think.
I just do the videos just to let the community know what's going on. I mean, I know we've been talking about the live videos and stuff. That's just kind of a part of my job. I mean, the writing the stories and taking
Is
the
part of
pictures and stuff. I mean,
And those are in the Courier.
right. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I'm not meaning for this to be an interview. I just want to talk to you,
Yeah.
ask about this business. But,
Yeah.
so you're truly just out there just grinding. You got to go anyway. if you want to give that first, whenever that phone rings, you got to go.
I go.
So you're giving us a little snippet of it, driving people to, hey, I want you to go buy the Courier. I want you to buy the subscription for the app. Or is it an app?
Well, it's a website. We don't have an app. We had an app years ago for the Times Journal, but I don't think it did very well, which is weird because, a lot of people nowadays have smartphones.
So you say the paper comes out on Wednesdays, right?
It comes out on Wednesdays. Yeah.
Now, is the website, is it updated daily or is it just updated on Wednesday as well?
No, it's usually updated
Live.
So, like, if there's a new story, it comes out on Tuesday, it's put up there Tuesday night or Wednesday morning.
Probably
or
live.
whenever. It's usually, like, I usually go through, especially a lot of my content, I schedule it 5 a.m., and I spread it out because we have a newsletter that goes out through email you can sign up to, and it's got all the headlines and stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, say this evening a crash would have happened out here. I mean, I would have went back and wrote something up and put it up right then and there.
Oh, I see.
That way people know.
And you can do that from your
if you
phone.
subscribe,
I can do it from my phone.
Yeah.
You subscribe to the website then through the paper, through the website, then you stay up to date. You don't have to wait till every Wednesday to read something. Huh?
No.
Huh. What's your best story you've ever covered?
Best story I've ever covered. Jeez. I don't even know. I mean, I've covered a lot of interesting things. I mean, I was telling somebody the other day because I was trying to look back through my content. I've written thousands of stories.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get on the website and just type my name in and
that's art all in itself, isn't it? I mean,
writing.
You're writing. I mean, that's your memoirs. That's the Jackson County.
And it's part of history.
Part of history.
I mean, people go back, however far back. I mean, they'll be able to get on and read this. And
could you store those on a blog?
What, the stories?
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there. There's I noticed sometimes I'll search my name on Google just to see, and there's a website out there called Muck Rack or something, and
Archive news.
it seems like they are archiving everybody's news stuff. It's like you can go back and
you don't know,
stuff.
dude. That, like anything he puts online, you have no idea where it may end up. I mean, it may. Somebody's just ripping it off all the time, aren't they?
Maybe.
They're using you as content for something else to build, and I mean, it's just crazy.
It's a possibility.
So, what's your favorite? Which one is the best one?
One of my favorites. I tell you, so several years ago, I don't know, this is gonna kind of sound a little sad, I guess, but it was a murder homicide. Okay. I covered over here on Ohio Avenue. I don't know if you remember it or not.
Yeah.
It was a wild story.
Yeah.
And I actually won first place for that story because we submit articles every year to the Ohio Newspaper Media Association. They have a contest for we'd be considered a weekly or daily. We're not daily, but like a weekly. And that I think it was 2017. They had a new category that year. It was called Best News Story was the category, and you could submit whatever you wanted. And I told them, I said, we need to submit this, and they put it in, and I won first place in our division. Out of the entire state. For weeklies. So that story there was probably one of the more I remember at the time, I called the chief. It was Eisenagel. Was the chief, then Carl there. And I remember there's a comment on that story where he's like talking about how he was going off to off somebody, he was like, I can't even remember like all the details, but that was probably one of the more interesting ones. I remember I went up there. I remember I came to the office. I'd made me a cup of coffee. I sat down, and it
was in the morning.
It was in the morning. It was. Yeah. They come back and they're like, I was the only one there. Nobody was there yet.
Or the bird gets the worm. Love it.
I know. One of the ag girls come back and said, "Hey, somebody's called in and said there's been this murder homicide." And I said,
somebody calls to the newspaper?
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. Somebody called in a tip. I think they just said there was a large police presence or whatever. You might want to go
People
check it
do
out.
that?
People do that. Yeah. They'll call in, leave tips and stuff. I get a lot of them through email or Facebook anymore.
I can't believe somebody just be like, I tell you what I need to do.
Yeah. Look at all them police cars over there.
Yeah.
I got to call the newspaper.
Somebody call
They
the
do.
news.
People do
Are
that.
you serious? Like these are anonymous?
No, not. I mean,
I wouldn't be. I'd be like, hey, this is Bo Kearns. I seen a bunch of police cars go down the road here.
Yeah.
I'd like to go figure out what it is, but I've had too many beers.
Yeah.
So,
Can you send somebody?
Send Jeremiah over there and
Yeah.
let him do a Facebook Live, and maybe I'll get a glimpse of what's going on.
I'm real bad to call. Like, I called somebody. Me and Gibson was out the lake the other day. I didn't tell you about this. I haven't seen you. So I roll up to the backside of the lake. Okay, and I was going to try out the horse trails for biking. Well, I see a car sitting at the backside of the Beaver Pike boat ramp.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked in there and I said, "You guys all right?" No response. Okay, it's Sunday morning. Okay. This has happened all the time. You know this. You're out there
I
a
go
lot.
out there every evening,
Yeah.
almost every evening.
And if you're out there on Sunday morning on a horse, I can't tell you how many times we've
Yeah.
rode up somebody. So I said, "You guys all right?" They said no, or nobody answered. So I thought, okay, well, had Gibson with me, and I thought, well, it's still pretty early. Went riding, came back, rode back up to the car. "You guys all right?" Nothing. So I, kind of nudged the car. I said, "Hey," I said, you guys all right?" This woman popped up out of the seat, and she said, "We just had to walk the dogs. There wasn't a dog nowhere." I said, "Don't forget to pick up your shit."
Yeah.
And we rode on. So I just pulled out my phone and called sheriff's office. Now that call, I
Yeah.
think it needs to happen. So
I agree.
So
I've made those calls.
Yeah.
Or, of course, I've got a buddy that used to be the city police. He was on the city police,
Yeah.
Scott Conley.
Yeah.
Now he works for the sheriff's department.
Yeah, and I'll call him and tell him
Yeah,
stuff.
I've called and texted him,
Text him.
hey, this is, and he's always,
Yeah.
or Bobby Grimes is the same way.
Well.
I know Bobby all my life, and
But I've never thought, let's call the news.
news. Yeah. Yeah. I see somebody out there at the lake, shooting up. I'm not going to be like, I got to call and get Jeremiah.
Should we?
Yeah,
Do you
no,
want us to?
No, don't call me on something like that. No, I'm not going.
Do you want me to put you in the group text? We'll get us a group text.
Get group text
Chubby
on.
Crime Stoppers.
I do.
Add me to that. So I want to know where he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chubby Crime Stoppers. I
Yeah.
like it.
No, don't call or text me if somebody's shooting up.
Well, they Narcan.
I'm not going to go out there.
I
and-
asked for sheriff the other day. I
Go out
said,
there
"Hey,
and
how'd that
cover
go out
that
the
up."
lake?" He said, "I had a Narcan one." I said, "Okay, well, saved him then."
Yep.
I mean,
I've done the same thing. I've called, JPD if I've seen
Yeah.
something going on, and they're like, "Okay, thanks, we'll check it out." I mean, the other day I was going to Wellston out 788. A red truck blew through that stop sign over here by Osco, and then it almost blew through a red light down there, where Chillicothe Street and Athens Street meets. And I called the PD. I said, "Hey, this guy's driving recklessly." He goes, "Okay, we'll check it out." I don't know if he was in a hurry to be somewhere or what, but he didn't even slow down. He just
yeah, you didn't go live though, did you?
No, I was on my way. I was on my way to the doctor's appointment. I didn't have time for that.
Those are more like TikToks now, though.
Do you have a TikTok?
I have a TikTok, yeah, but I don't.
You don't do nothing on it.
No, I just watch the videos.
I tell you what, that's a bitch here is addicting.
It is.
I had to put it down.
I downloaded that, and I told Coleman one day, I said, "Hey, I just downloaded TikTok." He said, "Delete it." He said, "You'll thank me later. Delete it now." And I never did. Now I sit there for,
Oh, yeah.
my screen time was like 4 hours, where I've been off of my hip.
Yeah.
My screen time was up like 28% one day, and 4 hours and something on there. And it was all TikTok. I know it is.
It's addicting.
It is.
Yeah.
addicting.
Yeah, don't do it in bed. Don't lay there. I mean, it ain't counting sheep. It's not,
Yeah.
I mean, next thing you know, you're going to eat up an hour and a half.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Easy.
I think we downloaded it during the pandemic last year when we was all sitting at home, during the shutdown. Downloaded it, and then I can remember putting you guys on the TV and watching you guys do your live videos.
How's your podcast coming along?
It's good.
Is it?
I've done like I don't even know now, 12 or 13. I mean, they're just short, minute or
You're
two.
doing short news clips.
Yeah, just short little news clips.
So tell me about that. What are you trying to do with that? What's your
Just something else
another-
to push back to the. I figured maybe some people would like that.
Have you figured out a way to dub out audio to use kill all of your birds with one stone device? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you let's say that there was a wreck, or let's say there was a news story that you had to go cover, and you were out there and you went Facebook Live. Have they made a device that you can use that exact same audio clip and throw that over into a podcast yet? I'm sure they do.
There might be one out there.
The audio with software.
Yeah.
And then you're
Use it
getting
and then use
content
it.
for your podcast
Right.
at the same time.
Yeah, it's called it's on all available platforms now. I just got Apple recently.
Anchor, you on Anchor?
I'm on it. I think I'm on Anchor.
Is that what we're on? Yeah.
I don't know. I know I'm definitely on Apple, Google. I'm on
Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah.
That was one of the first ones. Yes, I'm on Anchor.
Yeah. So you're probably doing the same thing. How we're doing
Probably.
it.
Yeah.
And it work. I don't.
It works good.
Do you ever track like the Stitcher numbers and all that?
I don't think I far into it. Anchor has its own statistics there that it'll try to pull from most of it. And it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as good as you want it to
Well, every now and then, hey,
enough.
it's all about your keywords and titles.
Right.
Because we had one went crazy in overseas. The roast coffee one. It went crazy in Yugoslavia
Yeah.
over just the word roast coffee.
Well, if anybody wants to look it up, it's just a minute of news with Jeremiah Shaver. I do it. I put it up on Tuesdays and Fridays. It's usually up about 8 a.m. in the morning.
Are you doing anything YouTube?
No,
No?
I haven't done anything YouTube since college.
Why?
Well, I take it back. We used to have a YouTube channel for the Times Journal. It's still up. They never deleted it. There's still some stuff on there. One of the wildest videos on there that's got a lot of hits. I can't remember how many. It's got several thousand. I mean, probably like 10, 20,000 or something. But it's like a video about Ted Frazier's in it. And I remember we got called out. Well, they called in and we went out to do the story. But they found like a chop shop where these people were like stealing stuff and cutting it up and selling the metal and stuff. And I went out there and took video of the chop shop and them loading up. They found like a 4-wheeler, a truck, and different stuff. And I got a video clip of Ted, and he's just like, I was like, "What we got here, Ted?" And he's just like, he just looks at me, he's just like, "We got a chop shop." You have to find it and watch it, and you picture Ted talking. It's the funniest thing, but it's been viewed like thousands and thousands. of times. I don't know why. It's weird.
What's the scariest one you ever did?
Scariest news story?
I mean, have you ever been on a live scene where it's hot?
Oh yeah, like standoff situations.
Yeah.
There was one down here on, I think it was Mill Street in Jackson a couple years ago.
A couple years ago, I remember that.
Yeah, I was actually playing in the Amy Dugan basketball game,
Oh,
the Memorial Classic
Lick,
that they had.
Northview.
Yeah, and I overheard somebody talking
Did
about
you take the ball and like, I'm out of here?
Well, I was sitting there waiting for
right out the double doors.
I was sitting there waiting for my turn, because they only put you out so many at a time, and they always have so many people from the community that play in that. You got Munn out there.
Yeah.
And, everybody.
Mine ain't no baller.
You got
actually
Howard.
is.
Howard's
He
a
is.
baller. You got
Phil takes
out
it
there.
serious.
He
Phil's
does.
out there. He's out there doing layup drills. He's there to win.
Yeah, but I left from there and like went over and did a live video, and then I came back later because they were still there.
Yeah.
and I got like a shot of them. They had all their guns drawn, behind the cruiser and stuff. But like I was standing there waiting, and then I saw them start to move in, and then they deployed like one of those flashbangs. But gave me a heart attack, and I've been on. There's a couple different one of those over the years I've been on. It's been a little scary. Sometimes even going to like house fires and stuff. I haven't been to a whole lot of house fires, but those are always hard because sometimes you get there and you get chased off by.
Well,
whoever,
and you don't want to be out there and let people see a family having a moment.
Yeah.
Are you try to stay pretty aware of where you're at?
Yes. All the time.
All the time.
I always worry about.
You do a nice job with that.
I always worry about that kind of stuff.
That'd be horrible to accidentally catch it in the background. I mean, you do a really nice job with that.
I always try to be, especially, and I was telling my wife this the other day. I said, the longer I do this, it seems like the more soft I get on it. Because when in my early days, I mean, you heard something on the scanner, I was out the door chasing it. It didn't matter what it was.
Yeah,
I was like an ambulance chaser or something, I guess. But as I've got older, it depends on what it is. I'll go out. But
Well, yeah. Are you trying to be the all around news guy, or you want to like focus in? Is there something? Do you like community events? Do you like homicides? Do you like?
I mean, he's the only guy.
I'm the only guy. I do it all.
You got to do it.
But I'm saying,
crime.
like, let's say you.
Only thing I don't do sports. We got a guy for that. We got a guy that does sports. Brock Nutter. He takes care of Vinton and Jackson counties. He does a good job.
I guarantee he's heard of me and Pudge then.
Oh, probably.
No, man, no. So if you had, let's just say you're a Jeremiah Shaver news guy, and let's just say that you said, all right, I am going to cover every homicide in Ohio every day. If there's a new one, I'm going.
I feel like it get a little old.
Do you?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I like.
You enjoy doing the whole different.
Yeah.
thing.
You enjoy the community.
I enjoy it all. I mean, I get
Okay.
every once in a while you have something going on over the court, and you go check it out, and like this, like coming up this Saturday, you got the Buckeye Fall Festival going on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go out
I
there
sponsored the hog column.
yeah,
Did you?
I seen that on the schedule.
I did. I can't be there, but I'd like to go see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out probably in the morning after I run out to the orchard
for
that.
Their start will be at 8 a.m.
At 8 a.m.
At the orchard.
Okay.
Yeah. Bo's been out there a good bit.
I want to go get some photos. I think that'd make for some good photos.
You know, I mean, and you're kind of a guy. I mean, and all of the news, local news, does this. But I mean, you know, you're one of the front runners of this. There truly is a lot of good going on in Southern Ohio. You know, I mean, we look at the good we do with that Jeep ride.
Sure,
I mean,
absolutely.
look at the. I mean, you used to do the what was it? School supply toy drive that Tyler did. He did that. What was that called? Cruising back to school. There, I mean, and I'm not saying all these benefits, but I'm saying, you know, there's a lot of good, like War X, man. That's a great. I mean, that's a big thing, man. I mean, those just aren't happening.
I don't think I've ever been out there to that.
Oh,
that's been going on for a few years, hasn't it?
Yeah, and
several years.
If you get in the interior of these places, yeah, you're gonna get some bad stuff. But I mean, man, some of the countryside out here is just unbelievable. I mean, it would almost be cool if there was a lot more reporting of the prettier parts of the county. You know, unfortunately, that's not where all the drama is.
That's right.
But I mean, you know, like, you know, even like just some sort of outdoor style or, you know, news of what's going on in Southern Ohio, because there's a ton. Allensville's probably the number one ATV visited place and Jeeped out off-road place in the state. One of them, you know. But there's all kinds of stuff like that you could report on, but people want to see that drama shit, don't they?
Yeah, they like the crime, and then you get like we was talking earlier. You get all the hate for doing the the crashes or the fires or the crime or whatever. But then you go look at the stats, and that's where the numbers are. People are reading it. I mean,
anybody ever send you real shitty DMs?
Well, not really through like Messenger and stuff. I've got a folder on my email. I got one that's like entitled "Nice Email," where I get like praises and stuff, and I got one that's like "Hate Email." And I've got like 10 or 12 emails in there from like the last 10 years where like somebody has sent something and it's like really stuck with me, and I'm like, I'm gonna put that in my hate folder. but my like nice folder, like where people would praise me for coming out to cover this or that or whatever. I mean,
you know, it's hard to find somebody that's passionate about what they do more than you are, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to have a passion for that to
you
spend the amount of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the amount of work,
and stuff, you know, and just sitting here listening to it. Today's the first day I've met him, and I get that vibe from him that I mean, he really loves what he does.
Yeah.
So
and you're, I mean, like it's crazy because you know here you are, more followers than 99% of the county probably. I can't think of anybody that has any more than that. Maybe some of the restaurants do. I don't know. Hard pressed, yeah. That does not necessarily equal any revenue. You know, so it's like it goes back to the, you know, obviously you're doing this because you love it, but you know, just like that, your equipment. How much money and equipment are you packing around? You know, or not packing around, but you know, how much have you invest? How much have
I invested myself?
Just that your company doesn't, that Jeremiah Shaver has to.
I'm going to say all my stuff is my own.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only thing I have that is company properties, the scanner. But I mean, the camera I have, I mean, it's $500-$600 camera.
Yeah.
And then the lens quit on me during the fair. I had to overnight one through Amazon. I had to buy it used because it's it was new in 2015 because I bought it new then.
Yeah.
And so I had to buy a good used one. I mean, it was a couple $100s for it,
Man.
But I mean, and I use my phone for a lot of the broadcast. So
Yeah. But still,
hundreds of dollars.
How often do you have to get a new phone? Yearly, every other year?
I'm hoping the one I have now I can keep for a while.
Yeah.
So I bought the one with the big memory this time.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that once it's paid off, I can just be done for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it does a good job. I got the iPhone 11.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're coming out with some crazy good stuff though for these mobile.
I know.
I mean,
there's all kinds of stuff out there. I was looking a lot of the accessories and stuff. I've been looking because I had some people complain on some of my video coverage during the festival
about sound.
Sound.
Yeah.
They make some different mics and stuff now.
Yeah.
That plugs right into the phones. And it's supposed to make it better and stuff. I've been looking at some of that.
Yeah.
To kind of help with, especially like when you're on this side of the camera. Because you can hear me fine, but the audio on that side is not the best, especially when they're a little bit away.
And it all depends on, I mean, it's all about like your vision depth. I mean, I noticed that out to Yellowstone. I'm an iPhone guy. I got it. Me and my wife iPhone 11s, but I noticed, if you're wanting to take a picture of something 100 yards out in the field or even over about 50 feet, you really kind of need to upgrade into a camera with a zoom lens. Them iPhones, they're made for here. It seems. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So, that's the only thing. You would probably have to pack something along just to, like, get crashes or something.
Yeah.
Or I guess this is fine.
That's where that camera comes in play. A lot of the good shots I've taken over the years have been with this camera. It's a Nikon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those mirrorless cameras. It's real nice.
Huh. Yeah, I mean it amazes me. All you guys in that profession, how hard you work and how passionate you are about it. I mean, most of you are lifers too.
I don't plan, unless they close the paper or fire me, I don't plan on going. Hopefully I'm around for another few decades. I mean.
Yeah. So yeah.
I enjoy it and I'm passionate about it. And
who's the biggest celebrity you ever met?
Biggest celebrity. I met the governor.
Yeah.
I met the former governor,
Kasich.
Well, I met the other one too then. I met Strickland, Kasich, and, DeWine over the years.
As the president came through here, they haven't, have they?
Biden was in town.
Biden's in town.
Stopped at Cardo's, yeah. I remember I was up at the Wellston Coal Festival. I was blocked in. Parade was going on when he was in town, so somebody else had to go cover it.
You've done all the musicians. You talked to Phil Vassar the other night, didn't you?
I didn't talk to him. I just got some good photos
that's
of him.
about all you need to do.
I was about done.
Yeah.
I was tired.
Yeah.
It was a long, it was a long week. Apple Festival is always a long week. I put in a lot of time.
A lot of time. Huh. Yeah. What else going on? How's being a dad?
It's good.
Good.
It's good. I was telling him he'll be 6 months here in a couple weeks. And the new thing right now is he's able to roll from that back to the belly, and he's been able to roll from the belly to the back for a while.
Yeah,
he's just a roly-poly. I mean, you put him down and you walk away for a second, you come back, and he's clear on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
But here lately, he's been starting to jabber a lot, and I'm waiting for them first words. We've been practicing. Like, come on, Dada.
Do you get a lot of time to spend with him?
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
You make time? You just make time?
I make time.
Yeah, you make time.
Oh, yeah. You make time. I watch him. I watch him a lot.
That's one thing I wish I'd have done more of. I wish I'd have done more of that stuff whenever they was little like that. I was a kind of a, hey, my wife knows a hell of a lot more than I do kind of guy.
Yeah.
I was there. Yeah. Holler if you need me.
Right. That's
right. But I wish I'd have done what you're doing.
I told this story just the other day, like when the boys was little, a buddy would call and say, hey, you want to go fishing this evening? I'd be like, I can't go fishing this evening. I got to babysit the kids, And my wife would be like, you don't babysit your own kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, with that deadly,
Yeah.
eyes,
Yeah.
just
and that
not-
tone, probably.
Yeah.
And you don't
Tone
mean nothing
there.
by it. You just meant
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I just when I watch my kids, I babysat them
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
most of the time they're with mom, so.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Enjoy this time now.
Oh, yeah.
Boy,
It's
it
been,
clicks by. Man.
it has. I mean, he turned 5 months on the 20th, and it's just flown by. I mean, he was born in April, 4/20.
What was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pudge like that.
my wife was joking. She said we just call him Snoop.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
But he's sweetheart. He's something else. I was showing him some pictures. I dug out some old photos. I found a me. I'll have to show you after the show. And he's splitting.
He is.
Splitting image of me
Really?
when I was little.
Really?
Yeah. He's got the blue eyes and the blonde hair, and he's got a little. My wife gets a little mad because he doesn't resemble her a whole lot. I mean, he's got the little cleft in the chin.
Yeah, yeah.
She's got that.
Okay.
And then when he smiles, he's got her like dimples.
Dimples.
And that's about it. Everything else is
It's
me.
screaming you?
Yeah, just me.
They change. They'll change some.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping he gets the curls.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
girls like the curls.
Girls like the
Girls
girls.
like the
Huh? Yeah, they get through a lot of stages. There'll be times that you'll look at him and you'll think, man, he does look like his mother. And there'll be times you look at him and say, man, he's spitting image of me. And
Yep.
There's times here lately I've looked at him. I'm just like looking in the mirror.
oh
Just
yeah, your boys is like you. I mean,
Yeah.
you can tell both your boys look like you. But
That's
they
what-
also
that's
look
what he
like
was
Susan.
telling me.
Jeremiah and
there.
I was talking about out
Yeah.
there, like Coleman was built like me now,
Yeah.
And everybody was like, well, Coleman looks like you and Steven looks like Susan. But if you go back to like my freshman, sophomore, junior
Steven
years,
looks like you in high school.
yeah, Steven looked just like me in high school.
Yeah, I would agree. I
So-
agree. When you gonna have one, bud? Danny, I'm putting him on the spot. I mean, what are you waiting on?
Hey, she's already put me on the spot.
Has she?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's time.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're all ready. Soon. Well, it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. One thing I probably did back then that I wish I hadn't have done is don't ever put work first. I worked a lot back then. Don't do that. Don't work your life away.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I mean, it seems like I'm everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bit. I mean, I always say it's a big illusion. I mean, I am everywhere, but
I was the same. Boy, I seen you. He's
yeah.
like that guy in that Adam Sandler movie, that Deeds or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't you
The
know?
butler.
And he
Yeah,
just
and
show
he's
up
gone.
over at the popcorn stand and be like, shit, he's everywhere. Every time I turn on
You
Facebook, I
can't
was,
do that when I take a drink.
I was like, my God, this man,
Deeds.
he was like old Deeds.
yeah.
When he'd be at the
he
side
was there.
stage,
Oh, yeah.
because you never did show the traveling. It was a boom, boom in these posts, and it's like, shit. Jeremiah is on his game today. Saturday, I mean, I was watching like, oh
I was,
my God.
I was everywhere Saturday. I mean, after being cooped up last year, I mean, you got to think, I didn't get every time.
You didn't work hard enough.
No, I didn't. But there wasn't a lot going on last year in 2020. I mean, they cut
yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not. They
You
cut.
still at Kroger's?
No, they cut my hours.
I know. I walked in Kroger's and he was bagging groceries.
I was back in groceries.
wow.
Yeah,
during all
last
that.
year.
And I was like, what are you? I was like, we got to get you dudes. Remember, and you were like, no, I'm all right now. I'm good.
okay.
And I was like,
yeah, I did. So last year in late March, they cut everybody, all the reporters' hours, all the journalists' hours,
With nothing to report.
from 80 to 60 hours of pay.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was only getting 30 hours, a
A
week.
week, yeah.
So I had to, and I tried for partial unemployment. Couldn't
Couldn't
get
get it
it.
'cause you was
And then if
working
you
in.
would get it in, you couldn't get in the system.
Yeah.
So they kept kicking you out.
Wasn't that a joke?
It was a mess.
Wasn't that a joke?
It was a mess.
I mean, I don't mean this against, but I mean, hey, they should be able to do better than that.
Yes.
I mean, and I get it. They say, well, you don't understand the load. There's lots of companies that have a lot of inbound like that. They could have done that through an app.
Something.
Some-
It was a
a
mess. I remember
website.
I'd try to get in and it would just
Kick you right out. That administrator was always, it'd say check, and I mean, you'd sit there for 18 hours. I heard.
It was bad.
I mean, yeah, they was.
But I ended up just giving up. I gave up, and Kroger was hiring at the time because they had such a rush because
Yep.
everybody was buying everything. 'Cause
Yeah.
They were afraid we were going to get shut down and not be able to go anywhere. And
I had back in. I had those guys at the stock room where we shut it down. I brought one of them in there and was trying to help them navigate through that and get online. And we did it from my office, and that was just horrible. That was absolutely horrible. I hope if they learned anything, get better at that, because
Something.
I mean, man, you had people that never did get to, stuff never did get to money.
That's amazing.
So tied up and just, I mean, that system doesn't have to be. I mean, if Facebook can, you understand how many people's logged on to Facebook at one time?
Well, in the state,
Yeah.
they don't have an endless budget, but they do.
They got that kind of budget. That's cheap. That's easy. That's an easy fix.
It's the same unemployment system that we've used.
Yes. That's easy fix. That blew my mind how bad that went.
They could just throw money at it.
Yeah.
Throw money at the problem.
Yeah. I mean, that don't you think that could have been easy?
Oh, I know. If it wasn't for me having prior state experience, Danielle would have probably never gotten through that.
Sure. Yeah. No, my mom works there, and I can't get through that shit. I mean, and then good luck. I mean, you basically just have to end up like personally trying to get a hold of somebody. Like, hey, here's what I'm trying to do. Can you help me? It was that was crazy. I thought, man, I feel bad for those people.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of stuff you could report on though in that world. You could always, dive into that type of stuff too.
That is true.
So,
Yeah.
He's going to find you more work. Before you
It
get
sounds
out of
like
here.
it.
Yeah.
I don't need any more work, Pudge.
well,
I
you'll be a
do-
dad. I'm telling you, don't work all your life for it.
Yeah. I make the time.
Yeah,
Make the time.
make the
That's
time.
good.
Anything else, boys? Hey, like and subscribe, and hey, how can they find you? What's it on Jeremiah Shaver podcast
On my podcast.
and YouTube and whatever Facebook?
So it's VintonJacksonCourier.com is the website. You can pick up the Courier newspaper at newsstands around Jackson and Vinton counties. Got the podcast going now. We're just getting into it. It's called A Minute of News with Jeremiah Shaver. You can find it on
A
Apple.
minute of news.
A Minute of News with Jeremiah Shaver.
Okay.
It's on Apple, Spotify. Heck, if you got Alexa, you can say, hey, Alexa, play A Minute of News with Jeremiah Shaver on Apple Podcasts, and it'll play it
Well,
over
he
the
is
speaker
big
for you.
time.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty neat. That just recently started working, so that's pretty cool. And Facebook page, it's just Jeremiah Shaver, news personality, and then with, the Courier also has a Facebook page as well.
Okay.
They may have a YouTube channel, but I don't know what the
Tell
log
Amanda
is.
she needs to sponsor this show.
Sponsor this show.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her she needs to be our sponsor.
You have to tell her.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not over that stuff. I don't know a whole lot about the advertising side of things.
Well, it sounds to me like you got enough on your plate anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, keeps you busy.
Well, give us a like and subscribe. Hit that button and smash it. Bam. Bo, thank you.
hey,
Until next week.
appreciate it.
Cheers, boys.
See ya.
See you.